A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of News First Weekend, coming to you live from our News First studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudarnayaka, and as always, let's take a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
Prime Minister calls for comprehensive report on the Ginto incident. Indignation over COPE members' phone conversations with Arjuna Aloysius. A racket involving the theft and resale of imported birds. 6 suspects arrested. 1 person killed in Boralla shooting. Corruption in the construction of a playground at the Columbage RA Mahavidyalaya. An Action TV expose. Mugabe's fall from grace. Ruling party ZANU PF sacks the ousted president from the party leader position. India's Manushi Chillar crowned Miss World.
The revelation that there had been extensive communications between Arjuna Aloysius and several MPs in the Committee on Public Enterprises during the COPE investigation on the alleged bond scam continues to dominate the political arena. Now let's take a look at some of the views expressed on the matter.
When this government came into power, there was no garbage on the UNP. There were incidents from the past, but these had been covered up. Now they are bathing in the bond scam. Look at how many times they have spoken to the accused while the COPE meetings were underway. Dayasiri has made a good statement. He noted that he was contacted twice seeking a meeting. He had asked what for and had met with that person too. When that person told him what he wanted, he had refused and asked him not to contact him again. We are with him on this point. The calculating theft carried out by the leaders of the UNP attired in ties and coats has been exposed by the Bond Commission. The serious matter here is that the Prime Minister ordered Mano Ganeshan's representative on that committee to resign in order to appoint Sujiva Senasinghe. The facts have been revealed. We now know how he obstructed the committee, included footnotes, wrote a book saying that no crime had been committed, and exchanged messages with this person. Did they make false representations to COPE? Did they cover up facts that they were aware of? Did the chief accused, Arjuna Aloysius, influence them directly or indirectly to cover this up? An investigation must be conducted into all of this, and the Speaker must establish a comprehensive inquiry in order to safeguard the supremacy of Parliament. The Speaker's powers are clearly outlined in the Act. Members of COPE, including deputy ministers, were obstructing the inquiry. So we believe that it is legally mandatory for the Presidential Commission to conduct inquiries into the telephone conversations between the MPs and Arjuna Aloysius. We think it is wrong to hide behind parliamentary privileges in these matters. When their wrongdoing is being exposed, they are trying to put up parliamentary privilege as a hurdle to prevent this. We cannot allow them to cover up their crime using parliamentary privilege. If members of COPE had personal contact with the accused, Arjuna Aloysius, while the committee was in session, then it is wrong. That is all I can say on that. If they had contact with Aloysius while the COPE inquiry was ongoing, then it is completely unethical.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe visited several areas in the Galle district today to make inquiries into the Ginto incident. A statement issued by the Prime Minister's office notes that the MP has instructed the subject minister to provide a comprehensive report on the incident.
The Prime Minister was accompanied by the Minister of Law and Order, Sagala Ratnayaka, and Inspector General of Police on his visit.
ඔයලා බලලා මින් ඉදිරියට මේ වගේ අවාසනාවන්ත සිදුවීම මේ ගමේ තුල සිදු නොවන ආකාරයට ළඟ බලා ගන්න ඕන. යම් කිසි පිරිසක් දෙපිරිසම අතර ඉන්නවා මේක බලන්න. කණාකප්පල කරනවා.
You're watching News First, and up next is Action TV.
If one were to visit the Kolambagayare Mahavidyalaya in Ambilipitiya, they would witness first-hand that while the Sabaragamuwa Province Ministry of Sports, Highways, Youth and Rural Affairs has not been entrusted with agricultural responsibilities, it has an aptitude for creating paddy fields. The ministry in question had prioritized the Ambilipitiya Pradeshya Sabha area in carrying out development activities during the recently concluded term of the Provincial Council. While it is important for the comparatively rural area of Ambilipitiya to receive the benefits of development, this playground is just one example of the fact that the Provincial Ministry of Sports, Highways, Youth and Rural Affairs has deceived the people of Ambilipitiya under the guise of development. While the development of school playgrounds comes under the purview of both the Line Ministry and the Provincial Council, the Provincial Ministry has undertaken this project without even informing the monk who serves as the principal of the Kolambagayare Mahavidyalaya.
The contractor informed me that even he was not aware of how the project came into being. Nevertheless, they dug 4 feet deep and turned a functioning playground into a pit. The teacher in charge of sports constantly asks me on whose approval the project was carried out. It is a crime as the children have been deprived of their playground.
Students at Kolambagayare Mahavidyalaya have even participated at the National Schools Games and have displayed talent far beyond the means of their rural school. It was the school playground that nurtured the inherent talent of these students. Beyond turning the playground into a mud pit, the Provincial Ministry of Sports, Highways, Youth and Rural Affairs has failed to add any value to the school. However, the contractor who granted the playground development project has carried out some value addition. While the contractor has been paid more than 1.9 million rupees for the project, according to the Ambilipitiya Pradeshya Sabha, more than 700,000 rupees of the total sum was paid to cover the cost of 545 cubes of soil, which was purportedly brought in from another area in order to fill the playground. Incidentally, while the principal was not informed of the 545 cubes of soil that had been brought in externally, according to the official appointed by the Pradeshya Sabha to supervise the project, the purported importation of 545 cubes of soil is a lie. Nothing was imported from anywhere. I have no cause to lie about it, and if it had been brought in, then it should have been used. All they did was dig up the soil around here. Tomorrow on Action TV, we take a look at the playground development projects undertaken by the Sabaragamuwa Provincial Council in several other schools in Ambilipitiya.
Villagers from Ratkakulava staged protest today, blocking the North Ransakotta junction on the Mathara Uruboka main road.
Our correspondent noted that the Mathara Uruboka road was blocked for almost an hour as a result of the demonstration. The villagers are demanding the swift renovation of this 4-kilometer stretch of road. Residents of 4 villages use this road. There is a school here. In 2011, they flattened the entire road and applied 1 coat of tar. They promised to complete the resurfacing within 6 months, but nothing has happened to date. It takes 45 minutes to travel here from Ratkakulave. It only takes 8 minutes to get to Adapala Hospital from this point. 2 patients in critical condition have died already because of the 45-minute trip to get here. The police HQI in Kamburupitiya arrived at the scene of the demonstration and informed the protesters not to block the road. The protesters say the entire stretch of the Ratkakulava road from the North Ransagoda junction to Kamburupitiya is in a dilapidated state. Our correspondent notes that about 1,200 families living in North Ransagoda, Ratkakulava, Annasihena and Beraliatura use this road on a daily basis. Our cameras also captured the manner in which these trees had been planted in massive potholes along the dilapidated road.
Speaking at a UNP membership promotion meeting in Thodamaduwa Galbaduagama in Mihintale, the chief organizer of the electorate, Attorney at Law Sanjeeva Senviratna, shared these views on the criteria for public representatives.
Reservoirs were dug, but there is no water. Roads were built, but they are not to standard. What does the provincial councillor or the chairman or his son do? People who did not even have houses and those who travelled in push bicycles have now built palaces and travel in expensive vehicles. This is not from the salary of a provincial councillor. It is through thievery. The money that should have gone to this land has been stolen and used for the benefit. This is what politicians have done. Therefore, it is important that the right people are elected. The thieves must be chased away. If not, the country will never get out of this abyss.
On to another one of our headline-making stories. A man who was travelling in a three-wheeler was shot dead this morning in Borella.
According to police, an unidentified individual had carried out the shooting at 9:10 this morning and had fled the scene. The victim was travelling in the three-wheeler at the time he was shot. The deceased has been identified as a 45-year-old Sekuril 1, a three-wheeler driver from Maligawatta. The shooting had taken place near Karlsruhe Gardens in Borella. The magisterial inquest into the incident was carried out this afternoon.
He wakes up at 7 in the morning. From that time he goes on hires. He is off by around 8 or 10. Driving three-wheelers had been his job for the past 30 years. There had been no complaints against him with the police and he has no enemies.
Borella police have commenced further investigations in connection to the incident.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, met with President Maithripala Sirisena last evening. During the meeting, the President had expressed his happiness over the steady progress of bilateral relations between the two countries. Ms. Al Nahyan had pointed out that the Sri Lankan expatriate workforce of about 125,000 in UAE, who greatly helped in expanding the relations between the two countries, has made great contributions to the economic development of his country. Prospects for investment in the fields of tourism, financial services and aviation in Sri Lanka were discussed during the meeting. The conversion of Colombo into the strongest financial centre east of Dubai and the support from Dubai towards this endeavour was also discussed at this meeting. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa arrived at the Askiri temple today and called on the chief prelate of the chapter, Most Venerable Warakakuda Sri Gnanaratana Thera.
These people are sent to cope with the full confidence of the parliament. If they provided the details from within cope over the phone, they have broken that confidence. Can they remain in parliament without this confidence? This is something that has never taken place before. The Speaker must take some action regarding this. Even the party leader, the Prime Minister, must take action.
The former President also called on the Pirivenadipati of the Askiri temple and received blessings. Subsequently, Rajapaksa called on the chief prelate of the Malwata chapter, Most Venerable Tibbatuwabe Sri Sumangala Thera, and received his blessings last evening.
The SLFP's Minuangura Electorate Council meeting got underway today under the auspices of former President Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumarthunga.
A group including the SLFP chief organizer of the Minuangura electorate, Ruwan Ranatunga, was present at the occasion.
Who killed my father? This is swept under the carpet, but J.R. Jayawardena was behind the death of Bandaranayake. We all know this. You know what they did to Vijay Kumaratunga? You know what happened to Sirimavu? At that time, they dragged me in for help supporting the SLFP candidate Hector Kobak-Hadua. When Mahinda and the group were working against him, they took me to the CID 8 times. I never grumbled about any of that. With the exception of one leader, the 5 leaders provided honest leadership for the party. They did not steal. Some from the Flowerbud party are asking what I did for the party. I am not trying to brag about myself. I celebrated my 70th birthday with my friends from the political arena at the BMICH. The president was the keynote speaker. During his speech, he said that certain people are asking what Chandrika did, but that he would like to ask them what she did not do.
The Sunday Times reported today that the decision on the number of vehicles that will be allowed to enter the Yala National Park each day has been changed once again.
The Yala National Park, which was closed for an extended period due to the drought and the impact caused on the ecosystem, was reopened on the 23rd of October. Subsequently, the Wildlife Department decided to limit the number of vehicles to be allowed into the Zone 1 of the park to 300 a day in order to mitigate the impact caused to the wildlife by tourists. However, safari jeep drivers staged demonstrations on several occasions in the past month protesting the decision. While the number was then increased to 600, a decision was made at the recent meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Economic Management to revert to the original decision of 300 vehicles a day. Newsfirst made inquiries from the Minister of Sustainable Development and Wildlife, Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira. The Prime Minister was strong on the position that only 300 vehicles should be allowed. We are holding to that decision. There is no limit on the vehicles that will be allowed into the other zones of the park. A large number of vehicles enter Zone 1 and this leads to the harassment of the animals. Visitors have also complained about this and this is why this decision was made. The Wildlife Department noted that while the 300 vehicle limit applies to both safari jeeps and private vehicles, it will not impact tours for school children in uniform. About 630 safari jeeps are registered with the Yala National Park.
The Tangol Police Crime Investigation Division has succeeded in apprehending 6 suspects over a spate of robberies across the island in the recent past, where prized birds were stolen.
Police had recovered 2 large macaws during a raid on an illicit liquor operation in the Mirigama area. SSP Laksiri Geetal of the Tangol Police Division noted that when inquiries were made into the possession of these 2 birds, it had been uncovered that the birds were stolen. Subsequent investigations had led to the arrest of 6 suspects in Kurunagala, Ragama, Panadura and Alavatugoda. The suspects have been arrested over the recent theft of imported birds from a private aviary in Hambantota and from 3 houses in Bandaragama, Panadura, Homagama and other areas. The police had also recovered 23 valuable birds which were in the possession of the suspects. Police recovered 4 harlequin macaws, 13 red menace macaws and 6 rosellas. In total, the birds are estimated to be worth upwards of 5 million rupees. Police also noted that the suspects had been using a vehicle they had purchased on a lease basis in Hambantota to carry out the thefts.
15 government institutions operating in the Galle Fort have been asked to move out by the Ministry of Law and Order and Southern Development. However, the Sunday Times reported today that this process has been carried out without proper consultation.
The heritage value of the Galle Fort has been recognized by UNESCO and the site has been inscribed as a cultural heritage and UNESCO World Heritage Site. According to UNESCO, the Galle Fort is an outstanding example of the type of building, architectural and technological ensemble or landscape which illustrates a significant stage in human history. According to the Sunday Times, the buildings that have been asked to be cleared include All Saints College, the Galle Fort Post Office and the Bank of Ceylon office on Hospital Street, among others. The past pupils of All Saints College held a protest saying that the request to move the college out has been carried out without consultation. They are trying to move All Saints College based on the whims and fancies of 1 or 2 people. We oppose the decision of the government. Without proper discussions with the parents and past pupils, we will not let this school be removed in an arbitrary manner. Dhammika Vijay Singha, the Secretary General of the Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO, has written to the Education Ministry and the Department of Archaeology raising concerns over this move. According to the Sunday Times, there has been no response from either. The letter notes that the action has been taken without proper consultation of the Department of Archaeology, the Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO or the Line Ministry. The Sunday Times, quoting a source from the Prime Minister's office, said the government institutions were only being shifted because they were unable to maintain the edifices to the required standards. The source had said, quote, they will be renovated. It will be decided later what will be done with the space, unquote. However, archaeologists speaking to News First noted that if the renovation and eviction is carried out without proper consultation and planning, the project will be doomed to fail.
That we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.